We're back in World War One. I almost said 2. That's not right. Also, it's been a hot second. I don't remember what I'm doing. I believe I'm going back to say hello to Mr. Winston Churchill. Old British face, they call him. Pardon me. Oops. Ooh, that seemed dicey.
I hope you like my new office, Miss Fry. As you can see, my informants have found some promising leads. Evidence of spy activity has surfaced around the field hospital, St. Catherine's Docks, and the Tower of London. I needn't remind you how crucial it is that we put a stop to these infiltrators.
Here's the takeover activities for hello for World War One.
How good was the World War One, by the way?
It's just getting underway.
That's pretty back. It's been a while.
It's been a hot second. It's been 2 weeks ish. There were 2 holidays in the interim.
It was a nice one last one.
Yeah. Now we're back. There are only 3 more Assassin's Creed games. You gotta hold on.
Right, and one of them is good.
I mean, this one's good. I'm a lady spy in World War One. It's also an assassin. That's awesome.
It sounds awesome, that's right. Can't wait to see how they watch it. It's a spy hideout.
It is. I'm gonna steal some documents.
You're not gonna free a bunch of children from the spy hideout?
I'm not gonna free a bunch of children from the spy hideout. I'm also not gonna do a sick double kill, even though I feel like that's just been a double kill. Oh well. How was your extended break from the Assassin's Creed?
What's she doing here? Ready? We shoot her on.
Now you're dealing with Assassin's Creed nonsense. The best kind of nonsense. You know, you're right. There may be a reason for that. I mean, there's only like 20 years in between. 20 years?
These people all look exactly as they are identical.
I think you're overestimating how fast fashion changes.
Coming from someone who works at a clothing store.
I mean, like, I feel like outside of like maybe hairstyles, like you can look at someone in the 80s and they look like you could just drop them in today and they'd probably be fine.
I guess it depends on, like, you know, who that person from the 80s is in particular, because there's a lot of variation.
Yeah. Like the average dude and or lady from the 80s, like, you're gonna get some jeans, you're gonna get some t-shirts.
Yeah, they're already outdated because they're not wearing yoga pants. It's all anyone wears anymore, Jeff. You didn't get the memo.
I don't wear yoga pants.
Literally everyone else does.
That's weird.
It is.
Oops. I also want to point out that when I do things for Winston Churchill, I will get rewards for the Victorian England people.
I once loathed the very sight of your kind.
And now the space lady's talking
Insane way you
that she
were
thinks
born in the
people are like
presence of the
spiders.
arachnid. Humans were created by we who came before,
Oh, right, that's
the Isu. We crafted you in our image.
Don't forget about the
but
space
deprived
people in
you
the
of
Assassin's
true
Creed making
needs.
that. Come on.
I try.
You were bred for hard labor, and in extreme cases, war. We built
That's
great
basically the entire
observatories
point of the
to monitor
series
you,
is
devices
what about
to
the space
control you.
people?
We
Yeah,
blessed
but
you
what
with
if they just said
resilience,
fuck that
but
and just
cursed
made
you
a
with
bunch
ambition.
of, like, RPGs with the Assassin's Creed thing?
And so you rebelled against us.
But you gotta have
I
the space
suppose
people
we
in
are
it.
to blame for the state
Yeah,
of
sure,
your
whatever.
species.
Stop
Is it any wonder so many of these
No,
simulations revolve around violence?
You gotta have the space people
I
show
literally
up.
want you to turn it on, and then the start of the game is like a dude putting on Anima's headset, and that's the last thing you see of the future stuff.
That sounds
Entire
terrible.
game.
Why would you do that?
Because no one cares about the modern day stuff in Assassin's Creed.
I care about the modern day stuff in Assassin's Creed.
There were all of about 10 seconds where I cared about the modern day stuff in Assassin's Creed, and they happened in Odyssey, and they immediately stopped, and then I stopped caring again.
Don't make me come over there, young lady.
Like, for a very brief moment, I was like, okay, maybe this modern day stuff is going to be cool. And then a thing happened, and I was like, oh, it's lame
I
again.
feel like I know exactly what spot you were referring to.
Probably. Because there was that one point where it was like, oh, the modern day is cool. And then it was like, oh, no, it's not.
Winston Churchill, how'd you get down here so fast?
Miss Fry, I believe I'm quite
He is
getting the
just-
hang of this
secretly a Templar.
espionage business. This one should be of particular interest to you. One of the spies currently
Putting my
detected
gun
at
to
the tower
Winston
has been
Churchill
making
made
some
Winston
rather
Churchill not
fanciful
freak out, but
claims
everyone around
about
him
a
freak
brotherhood
out.
of assassins.
Sounds like
no
very
less.
Winston Churchill.
You may
reaction.
want to silence him before he causes you and your associates undue trouble. Consider it my gift to you.
Where? Oh, there. Where am I going? There's where I'm going. Do
You see
me smothering this man for no really good reason. I'm entering a spy hunt area. We're gonna go hunt for some spies. Well, that's unfortunate. Oh.
No, I joked about Winston Churchill's. Yeah, I joked about Winston Churchill secretly being a Templar.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently, that is totally a plot point in a later game or something. Or I guess earlier game dealing with stuff around this time period, where it's like you get a photo and it's like, oh yeah, the Templars were totally influencing Winston Churchill.
Yeah, I think that shows up in 2.
It's one of those like things where it's like the art puzzle flash forward of just like have a photo of all the World War II leaders hanging out with just ominous messaging. It's like Templars.
Yes. I have no idea who threw the smoke bomb. It is probably the spy.
I mean, usually it's you who throws down.
Usually it is me, but this time it was not. I appreciate it though, because it has made like de-aggroing the 50 guards way easier.
I thought you'd be more of a challenge. Come on, restrainer.
Lydia Fry.
Alright.
I bet it's that guy who's running away, actually. The health bar that is just very far away is probably the fugitive spy.
I mean, if I was a spy, and I was being, run up on by a counter spy, I would probably just throw a sword bomb.
Yeah!
You know what was better? Spy versus spy versus spy.
What if I'm a spy? There is. Also, somehow I had the guards kill that lady, so that's cool.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure I saw
As
you
our
stab
people clashed,
You know,
we
but-
became distracted from an impending doom. A coronal mass ejection from
Angry
our angry
sun.
The greatest minds of our time assembled to prevent the coming disaster.
Prevent the disaster
Among
of the
them,
angry sun from
forthright
Super Mario
Minerva,
Bros. 3.
proud Jupiter, beloved Aita. We spent years locked away in the Grand Temple, attempting to find salvation.
What do you think would happen?
The others could only think of physical solutions. Yet I
Then
believed the
Mario,
only way to save
either
us
Cappy would
was to
burn to
transform
death,
us.
or Mario becomes
Inspired
the
by
sun.
the research of the great scientist Consus, I attempted to place Aita's mind into a stronger synthetic
That
body.
was how.
I failed, and my beloved
Odyssey?
died in my arms.
Well, no. Okay,
The others
what
shunned
if
me.
Galeem from Smash Bros. Ultimate turned out to just be the Angry Sun?
Yeah!
While the fight in the middle was just the Angry Sun? B, what if that was how it ended, was Mario just throws the hat at him and takes over Galeem's body?
That would have been great.
It's like, there, problem solved. Galeem's got a mustache now.
See where I thought you were going with this? And I feel like is a valid question to ask. Why is there no angry sun spirit?
That too. There's also no weird evil masks. Whose name I forget. Because that dumb mask has a name.
From...
The Super Mario 2 mask.
Oh,
Does
Fanto.
grab the key, yeah, that's it.
Who she bloody think she is?
Obviously, it's because those two DLC characters.
Yes.
But man, what if instead of Galeem and Darkon was just the sun and Phantom?
What if it was the sun and moon from Mario Party 6? The best Mario Party 6.
I don't know, I hear that new one's pretty good.
I've heard that though. I've also heard it's very disappointing.
I don't know about that. I can think of 3 more disappointing games.
Far Cry 5. Onrush.
And Red Dead Redemption 2?
No.
I mean, I can't call that one disappointing because my expectations are already completely bottomed out because it's a Red Dead game.
Yeah, and those are good.
It's like, yeah, they're going to deliver a steaming pile of shit because that is what people who like Red Dead want.
Wow.
That's what these people enjoy. So that's what it's going to be. So there's no surprise in that. Like, I feel about Red Dead the same way they felt about Fallout, where it's like there was never any hope for this.
What if instead of Red Dead Redemption 2, what if they did Red Dead Revolver 2?
Yeah, see, there we go. I'm gonna be honest, it's been so many years since I played Red Dead Revolver, I barely remember it. I remember it being fun, though. More than I can say about Red Dead Redemption 1.
Had that Jose Gonzalez song in it, though. I like
Lots of games have good music.
It's true. Lots of games have good Jose Gonzalez music in it for some reason. That became a trend. Life is Strange also.
Oh.
It was like an original one for Red Dead, and then Life is Strange used crosses.
Oh, okay, that's good.
I think you can play the guitar to it, which was cool in one bit.
Remember that part of the Game Awards where Life is Strange 2 part, like episode 1, got nominated for best story or whatever?
Yeah.
It was like, no, you can't do that.
Yeah, I mean, I liked episode 1. Hey. You do sound,
sick.
yeah.
Oh, I sounded a lot worse before.
You didn't
People get
even
sick all the
zoom
time.
in.
Most of the people I work with are now sick. So.
Yeah, good time of year.
It went from like 80 degrees to freezing today and also raining all day.
Nice.
And tomorrow it's apparently going to be back up in the 80s again. So it's like, great. Why? Why did we even have this day?
That's a cool city.
Good skyline going on here.
Yeah. World War I London.
Who doesn't love a good smokestack?
Yeah.
You're conquering World War One. Is that how that works?
I'm trying to uncover the spy that is currently making problems for jolly old England in World War One.
Oh, okay.
This place is rife with spy activity.
I mean, I'm sure spies were a thing during World War One, but I can't imagine that intelligence meant that much in trench warfare.
You know, fair.
We believe one of the spies is posing as a nurse in the nearby
There are
facility.
rumors the other
She has
side is
been
going to try to
taking
run
blood
over the
samples
trenches
into
again.
odd-looking
What?
tubes and delivering
I hear the
them
attack
to
is
an
coming from no
undercover
man's land.
Perhaps you will be able
Oh,
to spot
God.
them during one of these illicit rendezvous. Good luck.
Winston Churchill,
Use gas again.
very speedy little bugger.
Winston Churchill, very sneaky. Oh, they're putting blood samples into cubes. I've heard that before.
Nowhere.
Putting blood samples into Ada Wong's cell phone.
Man,
You want to talk about how cool Ada's cell phone is again?
everyone thinks I'm weird for saying that Ada Wong's cell phone is very cool, but Ada Wong's cell phone is very cool.
It's a cube.
But it like changes into a prism, and then you like do things by shaking it. It's awesome.
It sounds bad. It sounds difficult to control, at least.
I mean, probably, but it's still really cool.
Also sounds like the controller for the next Nintendo console. Stab that lady.
Good.
Wow, these people
Are very
That
attentive.
was
feel.
killing the lady?
Yeah.
You just kind of.
I guess there was something happening there, but it just looks like you mildly pull their head back and they die.
I have a knife.
Very weak neck. Very weak necks.
I have a knife in my wrist.
malnutrition in this era was rife, so really a good strong tug is
Fair
on.
enough.
Yo, that building's on fire.
It's a little more of those things were on fire.
I like how
It's either on fire or it's got some textures in those windows.
why not both?
Fair enough.
I
I
think
think
you're,
there's some particle effects there too.
for the record, the pulling head back. I think you're missing the part where she like drives her hidden blade into their back.
It drives a strong word.
I have to say, am I?
Like, it is a very casual stab. That hidden blade is like lightsaber levels of sharp, considering how easy of a stab that is.
It's less their backs and more like their side. Like, so either that's a really long blade, or those guys, again, just don't have a very good constitution.
She's doing here! I'll be the death of you!
That's why I like the later what happens in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, because Samuel goes out of the way to make sure that
I thought you didn't like the stealth kill because you just went all the warrior damage.
I mean, I still kill people occasionally. Up until the point where I have to go away. There was a warrior stealth kills and started shooting an arrow. That works way better.
Speaking of warrior, maybe it would be more convincing if you swore more, like Rogue Warrior.
Oh, because trust me, Cassandra swears plenty.
And it's all in
Lydia
Greek.
here is more reserved.
Yeah, that I was talking about our current situation.
Lydia Fry here is more reserved.
Insert Malaka jokes.
I was gonna say, there was a super cut of the swearing from Odyssey. It's pretty good.
Isn't it just like 5 minutes of just every time she just Malaka?
It's not just that, but it is 99% that, yes. There are a few longer scenes thrown in.
But also it's like 5 minutes.
Yeah. She swears a lot. To be fair, a lot of shit happens that she swears. Man, Odyssey is so good.
It's real good. We'll get there. We're almost there.
Almost.
Are we gonna do a Game of the Year this weekend?
I think that's the plan.
I'm down.
That's what I was planning for, at least, was sometime around this weekend.
We put it off the even less it's 2018.
Again, last year we did it January 1st, so
That's not what my document says, but okay.
that's
Well,
what,
I guess TFB would know because I think he streamed it, right?
yeah, that's what the video says.
Okay. Yeah, maybe my document was before we actually picked the winners. One that I'm thinking of.
Either that or because it was like 6 hours long, we did it the 31st, and then like just the processing took until the 1st or whatever.
That's also possible.
Hello,
Luckily, I don't
Space
think it'll
Lady.
I don't think it'll take nearly as long to get through this year.
Yeah, Red Dead Redemption 2 wins all the categories.
All
We're done!
efforts came to nothing. In the year 2306 of the Isu
Bring in
era,
Jeff Keighley.
the sun unleashed its fury on my once great civilization.
Did any of us
I
play
perfected
right
the
there?
work of
I did.
Consus
I
and
didn't
made
finish
it
it.
my own.
I'm
I
very
salvaged
early, but I
Aita's
have it.
brilliant essence and inserted it into
The game
the
comes on.
DNA of your
The game comes on
rebellious
2
kind.
Blu-rays, and that
I
is still
sent it
bananas
into
to
the
me.
unknown future to be reborn.
That's
Again
where we are now. I
and
mean,
again. I returned to
Uncompressed
the
audio.
temple.
Uncompressed
I
audio
shed
is a
my
problem.
physical form and entered
the
the
hell of a drug,
grave.
yeah.
But stubborn Minerva and
I
foolish
was going to say that the
Jupiter
Master Chief
discovered
Collection
me
is
and
huge,
sealed
but
me inside.
A, we already knew that, and B, Master Chief Collection is a lot of games.
Master
I
Chief
waited for
Collection
the
is
day
like
when
5
your
games.
technology might allow my return. That weight is
So basically
nearly
like 2
over.
versions of Halo 1 and 2 versions of Halo 2, and then those other games.
And then 3 and ODST and 4. And all the multiplayer stuff.
They managed to fit the entire Gene song into 90 gigabytes.
Damn it. I hate the Gene song.
Simple dissection. It's horrible.
Dearest Becky, your brother Andrew has asked that I write to you as he is presently unable to do so himself.
Hey, did everyone see that holographic alien head, or was that just you?
It's just me.
Take my pride in your work, man. I don't have the stomach for it.
Are you on drugs?
No, it's the alien people from the Assassin's Creed talking about alien people problems.
Fair enough.
Because the series is about aliens. I don't know if you're aware
No, I
of
mean,
this fact.
I more or less know what the Assassin's Creed.
It's not like I've streamed 9 of these games.
I won't say I know the Assassin's Creed plot. I will say I know some of the beats of it.
You're aware of the Assassin's Creed plot.
Oh, I have no idea where they've been going with it in recent games. I know, like, Assassin's Creed. Vaguely.
I really like that
And then
my perk of sometimes enemy guns will just explode in my face extends to World War I.
that's pretty good.
Those guns remain sabotaged for a long time.
There are a lot of people coming in.
Honestly, it's real good for fights.
Oh yeah, including like
Everybody's got to die.
people who show up with just balloons.
Yeah, just civilians running in on the fight.
Ancient Greece was a messy town.
I mentioned it before, like, I cannot stand the super in that game. Because I want to go there and killing the population of that city on Main Street. Like, mercenaries saw me, and then it was on, and then the fight just kept getting bigger and bigger. So, like, my bounty was maxed out, and I had, like, 5 mercenaries attacking me, and I killed so many civilians, completely full of bodies. It was a mess.
Perfectly balanced, as all things should be.
And that's why we don't need the old style God of War games anymore.
I mean, Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
That argument there was a time
Yeah.
God of War series, just if I could find that, you know, other people having covered for piles of bodies in the streets of Assassin's Creed and
Man,
Also a better Minotaur fight in Odyssey than in God of War.
right then. Got all the good stuff of God of War without the needlessly gratuitous Mortal Kombat style violence.
There's a little bit of gratuitous violence, but yeah, nothing too extreme. Like it's
Right on.
no one like rips someone in half or
Right, that's the kind of thing I'm getting at.
no one uses a prostitute to jam gears to open a door.
Right. Yeah, I'm not saying you can't have like
Mortal Kombat violence.
gratuitous Mortal Kombat
Things
style
that.
violence,
Say that.
but if
Yeah.
your game is just like a lot of that, then
Something else is nice. A little variety.
variety.
it feels like almost a pacing problem. You know, this is the kind of thing that you have as like a stinger during the climax, but with God of War, it's like you're either mashing to open a treasure chest or you're dismembering something, and blood is spraying everywhere.
To build, to transform your age into something
Was very well
greater
known.
than you can currently call.
I've never played any God of War, I'm gonna be super honest.
Yeah, I think I'll leave it as that because I haven't played enough of that series to really be in a a valid critique on it. But
Yeah,
it ain't
I
relevant.
played the first one, and it was just kind of a generic action game from that.
I just remember when 3 came out, I was watching the quick look at some other videos of that, and it was like, why would you do that?
Yeah, those games have kind of just been the same thing since, like, that's kind of like I played the first game and never needed to play the others. 'Cause the
I would also
God of
note
Wars are all
that
the same
I grew up to be very uncool, and my younger self would be disappointed in me.
Whatever, my younger self was an asshole. And if we met up, I could probably kick that guy's ass. That river is awfully crowded. I don't like it. Boats just sticking out at weird angles.
I mean, there are no, like, lanes in a river.
Why not?
The paint would just float away.
Have you ever seen the Naked Gun movies, TFB?
I've seen the first one.
I can't remember if that's the one I'm thinking of or not. Is that the one where Nordberg gets shot on the boat?
I don't remember that, but...
Nordberg is O.J. Simpson.
Yes.
O.J. Simpson gets shot off of a boat.
I don't think so.
Dang, I must have been one of the other ones then. So I was going to mention that my favorite gag in those movies, period, is that Nordberg gets shot off of a boat and falls into the water, and there's a scene later where somebody is on the docks and there's a chalk outline floating in the water.
Nice.
And it's like just a white police tape in the shape of a body just bobbing up and down on the waves. And it is one of the funniest things to me.
That's a good gag.
Yeah. I know that in the first one that I saw, like, O.J. Simpson ends up in the hospital for most of that movie.
I wanna
So
say that was a running
maybe,
gag
but-
in multiple. I feel like bad things happening to O.J. Simpson was a running gag in those movies.
Miss Fry has uncovered the location of the sinister cult of spies.
Also, there's the
plaguing
really good
our
bribery
streets.
scene in
You
the
know
one that
your
I
orders,
watched
lads.
that I'm
Follow
really
her
into.
lead, and let us rid London
Where-
of this menace.
Leslie Nielsen is bribing someone for information, and then they're like, why do you need to know this? And he's like, well, I could tell you for a price, and then he just gives back all the money that Leslie Nielsen bribed him with.
Oh, those movies are pretty good.
They're pretty good.
These people up here in Winston Churchill's like upper floor hangout are psyched about taking that mission.
We're gonna go in
The only parts I've seen of the Naked Gun series is clips of them in an O.J. Simpson documentary.
I'm not sure it's the best way to experience the movies, but it's interesting to say the least. See, yeah, because I remember seeing those and not really understanding the context of the O.J. Simpson in the movies and just thinking, like, these movies are really good. And then later realizing exactly how weird all of that was.
Yeah.
I remember seeing, like, the O.J. Simpson chase, quote-unquote, on the news. Like, being... just, like, seeing parts of that talked about in the news kind of as it happened. Super weird. Not much of it, obviously, because I was very young.
Yeah, I don't think I was a consumer of the news at that age.
I definitely wasn't. Because I was not alive.
Yeah, that was 95.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw the news, I did not quite comprehend the news.
I think I was still in my why doesn't the New York Times have a comics page phase at that point.
I mean, that's a great question.
I was gonna say, which again, to be fair, why doesn't the New York Times have a comics page?
I didn't know they didn't, and now that I know that, it's weird. No wonder newspapers are dying.
It's got all this boring news.
Our people in Westminster have sent word. We should stay alert.
This bookshelf seems suspicious.
Oh, hidden passage behind the bookshelf.
Very hidden.
Oh.
Extremely hidden. The most hidden.
Passages 101.
Come over there.
Wow. Jesus Christ. Come on.
Ready?
We wanted to use eagle vision to identify that.
Oh my god. Wow, you weren't kidding around.
The most hidden.
You think we're bad spies. Someone went up to put a gun on that man and he ran at him.
Yeah.
They took some bullets for it.
Yeah. I mean, he didn't die immediately, so...
But don't they also have guns, generally?
Whoa!
Like, most enemies can pull guns on you.
That was weird. Is that the right dude? Yes, okay.
Despite credit, they're fitting a lot of people.
Throw that man out of a window?
No, he like jumped out, he used a flashbang and jumped out. Or
Okay.
something.
And they did a
I would
really
say, well,
bad job
The
of running
ringleader
away.
is
Yeah.
dead,
Wow.
as are his bizarre
Good job,
disciples.
Is that it then?
Well, there is still a war on.
Then we both have our own affairs to return to.
Stab that guy in the
Know
shoulder,
that
and
you
he's
have
not
done a
taking it
great
well at all.
service to your country.
Shoulder's a bad place to get stabbed.
And to be fair, getting stabbed is bad.
Generally unpleasant.
I don't think I would take it very well, no matter where
Yeah,
it was.
no, getting stabbed is probably it's very close to the bottom of my list of experiences I would like to have. God, Winston Churchill still just looks weird.
The man Lydia Fry
It's a
killed
weird
was
looking
my
Winston Churchill,
husband,
I don't like it.
Aita, reborn. Known
Oh hey,
in
the
your
space
time
lady's
as a
bummed
sage.
because
Thank
we
you for
killed the
discovering
reincarnation
his
of the sage.
His pattern will
Oh,
be
that's right.
added to my own. Perhaps you believe, as other assassins before you,
And space
that
lady's
it
like,
is your
hey, what if
duty
you
to
didn't
work
stab me
against
though?
me. But consider this. It
the
was an
space lady
assassin who freed me from my prison. I am
Juno.
no longer she who lies.
This is Juno.
I am
This is
the
Ellen
mother
Page.
of wisdom.
Alright.
I am
Banana
the
phone.
nexus
Hamburger
of
phone.
flesh and
Banana phone?
machine.
I've never seen
am
Juno.
Juno.
Banana phone is a different thing.
Okay.
It's like old internet
And if the
nonsense.
greatest assassin of your
Like Juno.
generation can see things
Yeah.
my way,
Juno was an
then
internet service
perhaps
provider,
you
right?
can too.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they were one of those quote-unquote free providers that would give you dial-up, but when you logged on to their service, they would hit you with the ads.
Do you know the capital of Alaska?
That also exists.
Apparently Juno still exists.
Yeah, Alaska? Yeah.
No, the
I like his answer better.
yeah. Accelerated dial-up internet service for $29.95 a month.
Accelerated.
Accelerated
Surf
dial-up,
up to 5 times faster. TFB.
then dial-up.
I like that it says surf up to 5 times faster, and that it has 2 asterisks next to faster.
Nice.
Well, that was fun. Also,
Accelerates certain web page text and graphics when compared to standard dial-up internet service. Actual
Okay.
results may vary.
it's great.
So they're probably just doing some compression thing.
Also, now we beat the World War I section. Hooray.
But some people need dial-up. I mean,
Yeah.
we don't have the greatest
Oh no,
internet
trust me.
coverage.
I lived in a rural area near a lake, and dial-up was one of the only options we could get.
And satellite.
Yeah. It was bad times.
Went back to the old days of StarCraft and hitting
Hitting the lag switch.
and E that extra high latency. Which is funny because back in the day I thought like that was how you stop the lag, but I guess that all that means is you're telling the game, hey, this is gonna be laggy.
It's just giving it a heads up.
Yeah.
I'm not reading any more signs of network disturbance. What happened in
Alright, are
there?
you done with the World War One?
Yep.
It's time to jump back through the time hole.
Time to jump back through the time hole. Back to Victorian England.
What if you hit the button, but then she was back there? It's like actual time travel.
This isn't Dragon Quest XI over
Yet.
here.
I'm waiting for the day that Assassin's Creed finally says fuck it and pulls the actual legitimate time travel card. It's gonna happen.
It's not gonna happen.
It's going to happen.
It's not going
That
to...
is a shark that is waiting to be jumped.
It's not going to happen.
They built the ramps around that shark already. They're just waiting for someone ballsy enough to hit it.
They can do that, or they can do their usual thing of like, you know, here's your Abstergo entertainment guy, and here's the Animus part, and then at the
Are
end,
you
the
okay?
Abstergo guy was also
I don't
in the
know what
Animus.
happened. I thought
That'd be great.
Just gotta have to do the Inception, the VR.
Also, now that we're back in the jolly old England, I've leveled up to level 9. Hooray!
Yay. Can you now max out your Evie and Jacob?
I cannot. I need a little more. I can,
Ecosystem trait.
however, craft this Night Terror cane sword. You could say this cane is a real nightmare. Because it's got a horse on it.
Yep. Evil horses.
Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
It's got jokes! I think I can equip that
All these curvy blades.
Chimera as well.
Night Terror Cane Sword. It only moves like the L-shaped Tetris block.
Alright,
Thinking of a bed.
I've done big EV upgrades. I have $45 left. There will be no big Jacob upgrades.
Female intruder!
Oh, those guns look sweet.
Yeah. So with that in mind, let's go do this EV mission.
Did you just murder a cop?
Yeah,
Don't worry about it.
like NWA William. I had to blast a Bobby.
Indeed.
I feel like that would be a supercut for this game, is every time I make that
Every time
reference.
you said that,
Yeah, because I've...
just roughly 1,000 times.
Yeah, like every time I've had to fight the cops.
Every time. Which is a lot. You fight cops a lot.
I do.
I'm gonna start looking up bad Assassin's Creed music videos now.
Man, I bet this is
No!
honor.
Oh hey, if I do this mission, then I can get a gauntlet blueprint that is worse than the gauntlet that I am currently wearing. Hooray! It is, however, called the Mirage Dontlet, and that's way cooler than the Chimera.
We're going to like my #1 Google result here.
Hmm. Oh man. Oof.
Just type in, like, Connor Assassin's Creed 3 Nickelback. Or no, Linkin Park. I did kind of think this was a really interesting way to kind of set up the story beats here, in that you
Not
have
build a single bus for you
you
criminals.
have Jacob's
Well,
story,
do as we
which
say, Bailey.
is
We're gonna have to pay you and your
him kind
family
of
a visit.
being
You
a
leave them
goofy
be.
gang dude and mucking up a lot of things. And then after you complete the yes. Sorry.
Oh, Lord.
And then after you do those sections, you get the EV section of, hey, Jacob left a real mess.
I mean, that's kind of just
Watch it!
his job.
Easy.
This carriage does not go very fast.
Come on!
Oh my god.
Easy. Easy.
I said I would have saw it on purpose, but man, this video is bad.
That's really good.
Out of my way! How'd it go? Move it!
Pardon me?
Okay, it sounds like I got dinner. I will be back.
Here now.
Take deep breaths. They're gone.
No, not for long.
The bodies
They'll
of
hurt my
those more.
kids. I don't know what I'm doing. My kids are
Tell me why you've got the
Speaking
blighters
of
on.
music and things I did not
The
expect to
city's
hear
been
the
turned
first time
upside
I
down
left
since Attaway
my house
Transport and
in
the
the year
Milner Company
2019.
went belly up. With no
I went to a
one
place
fill
and
their
like on the
shoes,
in-building
gangs
radio,
made their move.
Was Not Was's Walk the
Well done,
Dinosaur
Jacob.
was playing.
And as is Bailey, the only
yeah.
omnibus builder in the city, they are demanding that I work for them.
And I was like, I don't know.
I
But
know
you, like,
good
had to go
men who
find
want to
out
form
what
a united transport company.
It was just like the
What
in-store
did they say in
radio.
America? For the people, by the people. That is our intention for the London General Omnibus Company. But
Patrick should
those
be that
thugs
person who
got
calls an
hold of the
employee over
deed
and files
to
a complaint.
Attaway Transport. We need it
Like,
to
why
begin our
are they
company.
playing
That's it.
Walk the Dinosaur in 2019?
Mr.
There is no good reason for that.
To be fair, later on they did play Weird Science, and I was okay with that. I like Weird Science.
It's pretty good. I feel like I'm more partial to She Blinded Me with Science,
Well, yeah.
but also I feel like that's partially because I can blast that from my helicopter in Phantom Pain. Man, Phantom Pain was the most bad spiritual parts of it.
I did. One might call it the third, second. I don't remember where it was on the list. I'd have to go find my list again.
Someone sneak in!
It was one of the best games of that year.
It was pretty good.
Jason Bear!
I think I had it second. It was ahead of Her Story and behind Yakuza 5.
Hey, someone get up!
I believe is how that year went. Also, speaking of games, remember Her Story? That was a really good game.
Yeah. What year was that? Last year?
2 or 3 years ago, actually.
Okay. Longer ago than I remember.
I think it was 2 years ago.
It was pretty good, though.
I do like, I like that Sam
Wow,
Barlow.
it was 2015.
Oh, wow.
4 years ago, TFP.
Oh, Jesus.
Uh-huh. Feel it. Feel the burn. Realize that you're old.
I had that while I was writing my list this year, and as of this year, Monster Hunter Tri came out 10 years ago. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Because I was like, how long have I been playing Monster Hunter? When did Tri come
I
out?
sent Roxanne a
2009?
message.
Oh, no.
You and your family are safe.
You are blooming brilliant. The founding members of the London General Omnibus Company. Good, moral men. All of them. We'll have buses rolling before you know it. Thank you, Miss Fry.
My pleasure.
Alright, let's see here. Actually, now that I'm level 9, I could start doing Westminster. Just one last district takeover rush before all the district takeover goes away.
Before you own London completely.
Before I run London. Before I run Bartertown. Actually, before I do that, where is my train?
Alright, I've now clicked through all of the dumb little bonus doorway things on Steam's Christmas cabin, whatever deal.
Mm-hmm.
I was forgetting to do it, so I kept having to go back every couple of days and then click all of them to
Yep.
get the ones I missed. The important thing is I got a near automata background for my profile.
Yeah. I gotta.
Which I don't think I've ever actually looked at my profile.
When they first introduced those background stuff, I looked at it because I have one from Monaco.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't look at my profile ever since then. Speaking of good games, Monaco.
Yeah.
One might have called it the third best game of 2013
letter is coming.
12.
But Jacob.
Someday I should probably actually play that game.
What's up, Henry Green?
Your qualities surpass your charms.
It still
Not
seems
entirely
weird
sure
you've
that's
got
meant as a
friggin'
compliment.
zebra head on your wall.
Love in a Mist. That's a pretty name.
Alternatively called Devil in a Bush.
Narcissus.
I don't know,
Self-love.
maybe you took
I should
that
buy a
zebra
bouquet
head
for Jacob.
From Poacher.
Most unkind, Miss
Yeah,
Fry.
from some evil person.
Yeah.
As amusing as all this is, I really should be getting back to work.
Looking at flowers
need
with
me,
Henry Green.
I'll send a bouquet.
Of irises.
A message. Indeed.
Alright, that seems to be the closest fast travel point to the Westminster district. This is the last time we'll get out of our way to do these city takeover stuff. And then we could just kind of shotgun the rest of the game, which is not that long.
I feel like most Assassin's Creed games, if you just gun the main story, are not very long, as it turns out.
Yeah. I feel like Origins and, to a lesser extent, Odyssey, you kind of...
They buck that trend.
They buck that trend because they are so level dependent.
They are RPGs.
That if you aren't leveled enough... Like, when I first played Rogue, I kind of shotgunned the main story, and...
Yeah, you mentioned just kind of bumbling your way through the end of that game at a low level.
Yeah. And if I seem to recall having way more problems streaming the sailing mission, or the final sailing mission...
It went pretty bad for you on stream, as I recall.
Than I did when I played it. And I was way more upgraded on stream.
He's talking rubbish.
Wait. That's not the right thing. That's what I want. Go take out... Say Edgar Ellicott and Bodyguard? Edgar Collicott and Bodyguard, sorry. These are fun British names. Come on. I like that that guy's name is just the Bodyguard. I have assassinated the Bodyguard.
I'm trying very hard to remember. There was a movie that was just called The Bodyguard. Oh, that's who that guy was. I knew there was somebody in it that I recognized.
And he was...
He's a dude from Game of Thrones.
That show that I've watched many times.
That's why I didn't bother elaborating.
It's the guy from Gods of Egypt.
No, different guy. Different Game of Thrones man.
Dang.
This Game of Thrones guy is in things that aren't terrible.
Peter
Don't get me wrong. I like that guy from Game of Thrones who was in Gods of Egypt or whatever. Like, he seems like an okay guy. But, Jesus Christ, he has the worst agent I've ever seen. Considering that I've seen him in 3 things exactly. One of them is Game of Thrones, one of them is Gods of Egypt, and one of them was that weird horror movie that I think was just called Mama.
Wasn't
his
he...
entire role in that movie was like getting knocked out.
Wasn't he in the second Silent Hill movie? Are you sure?
I'm not, because I've never seen the second Silent Hill movie.
I need to look this up now.
Well, I'm looking it up, don't worry. You continue with your nonsense, I will look this up on IMDb.
Yeah, it's a different... I don't know if it's the same Game of Thrones guy, but there is a Game of Thrones guy in that movie.
Yeah, it's a different Game of Thrones guy.
Okay.
That's the Jon Snow Also, the Sean Bean is technically a Game of Thrones guy as well. So,
That's
yeah.
true. And he was in the
Doubled up
first
on
one.
Game of Thrones. Man, fuck the silent movies.
They're pretty bad. I got this great idea though.
Uh-huh.
What if, and hear me out here, what if they got Guillermo del Toro to do one? I know it sounds crazy. Like, why would that ever happen?
Nobody would ever let that happen.
No one would ever.
Who would give their money to that?
Boy, that'll never not be depressing, will it? Whoa.
Man, the trash truck is running very late.
I thought you were, like, that upset about my dumb Silent Hills joke that you were just, like, kicking something in the distance. Me?
Someone to a pub.
We're going to take a look.
Come and get me!
Get back here! I am
Well, killed him. It was not intentional.
Your mother sent the guards!
Stop hitting me.
You'll be singing a different tune once I'm through with you. You can do better than that. I'm under the hot keeping. Just try to stop me.
Really appreciate that combo involved using the cane sword like a baseball.
I think the one thing that weirds me out with the cane sword is there's a whole lot of beating people up with a cane and not a lot of swording. Like, usually they just get out the sword for the actual stab to kill somebody. But most of the attacks are just whacking somebody in the head with a cane.
I mean, to be
Don't get me
fair,
wrong,
that's
I'm all for it.
unpleasant.
I'm all for that. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, hold on, the cops saw me stuff this dead body in a carriage. They're very unhappy with me. One might say that I'm going to have to blast the body.
stealthy.
Well, you can't really help stealthiness when you're walking to the carriage that you take down to the guy with, and then just all of a sudden there's a cop.
Why did they design the game this way?
Because cops are a problem.
Why can't you just like walk to the curb and hit a button to call a carriage?
Because what are you calling a carriage with, man? They didn't have cell phones.
Yeah, you just whistle. So whatever, you got Alexander Graham Bell on
How'd
this.
it go?
He didn't.
Having developed a fucking codec.
He's too busy with his eugenics.
Yeah, he knows a lot about skull sizes and whatnot. He can make a little thing that goes in your earlobes and vibrates them.
Go on.
Transmit messages and whatnot. The unwillingness of Assassin's Creed to it's like they had Alexander Graham Bell invent shock grenades, but inventing some kind of weird cellular phone devices too.
It's the 1890s.
Invented shock grenades.
That at least makes marginal sense.
For Alexander Graham Bell to invent lightning grenades?
But, like, you can do that with 1890s technology. You can be like, oh, I can use this to generate a big electric shock. Whatever. That's fine.
Take that!
But, like, cell phones weren't a thing. Like, I think this is pre-actual Alexander Graham Bell inventing the phone.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. It's weird. They, like, all the dumb bullshit that did all the all that other stuff.
He actually did that, man. He invented the helicopter and the tank and the machine gun.
And the hidden blade didn't require you to use a finger, except they never did. So the whole losing a finger started a giant tradition about cutting off the finger just to hide the fact that it screwed up once a long time ago.
We'll get there. It might be.
So that's really fucked up, like.
But it's moderately hilarious, though.
I mean, it's kind of funny, yes, but it's also super fucked up. Which, I mean, I would expect from the guy who apparently, you know, like, basically started the Assassins. You know, just completely morally and just disgusting organization all around.
Man's name is Harrison Harley.
I like alliteration.
I've heard that about you.
Mm-hmm. This is a big district.
I mean, it's,
I guess it's
well,
the last one, right?
A, it's the last one, and B, let me pull back up the map here. This entire area is, like, restricted, because this is Buckingham Palace. Like, this entire section of it. And it turns out that, like, people don't like you when you go into Buckingham Palace and you're not invited. Which is wild, I know, but... because nobody important lives in Buckingham Palace.
Actually, that's all there is.
Survivor. Please make sure to come again.
Pardon me.
Attack from behind! You're looking so tough now, are ya?
There's a locked chest in this fancy church building. On this fancy church building. I got some death knuckles.
She's not allowed! I'll get her!
Oops.
I can slip it from here!
I can't believe that guy would shove that lady to the ground like that.
I need some help here!
This man is very fast up until exactly that point.
Beg pardon? Unhand me, rascal! I said let me go!
Keep your voice down. Quiet, Mr. Harley.
Who sent you, woman?
The police.
Going on there?
Something's happening.
Why would any sane person want to apprehend me? I do what I do for the greater good. This abbey will not stand. Religion will be purified.
Whoop. I tried to stick him in someone else's carriage again, and
Now,
that didn't
Mr. Harley.
really,
We will force them to answer our cry! Come on, bloody Pegasus!
Nope. Is there an unoccupied carriage somewhere? There's one.
Help! I'm trapped! Someone help me!
Something out of a nightmare, that one. You did well.
I've almost maxed out my allegiance with the policeman.
Which is funny, considering how many of the police you murdered.
They were bad cops.
Bad apples.
Bad apples.
Oh, it's mutton, I promise you!
Oh, also, hello to King Sonic.
Oh, hi.
I was busy reading bad comic books while I did this.
How's the bad comic books going?
The Hulk is Satan.
Okay.
Well, there are two Satans, one is Bruce Banner. Also, setting off a gamma bomb apparently opened the doorway to hell, and now everyone is in hell.
Great. Why?
Sounds like I came back at a good time.
I really can't answer that.
So how many Satan's are there?
It seems to be 2.
But what about...
Marvel, or just 2 Satans and the Hulk?
I believe they said the Hulk is actual Satan now.
Oh, okay.
Like, all the other Satans were just pretending. Hulk is the real deal Satan. But also so is Bruce Banner.
What about...
There's a bunch of stuff there's a bunch of quotes in the book about the Kabbalah as they build up to the reveal of, by the way, Hulk is the devil.
What about...
Oh, okay.
Oh god, what is his name?
Were you just going to say Red Hulk?
No. I was gonna say the guy, the Doctor Strange and Doctor Doom fought that one time.
No, Mephisto's just like, he's a devil. He's not the devil. He's not Satan.
There's the catch.
Where's Jehovah fit into all this?
I couldn't tell you.
What about,
I'll say there's a quote on one of the pages asking if God has a Hulk.
Nice. What color Green Lantern is God?
Making that Wire comic looks terrible.
I don't know, they just are.
I should go see if West Coast has had any updates. Now that we're done with Brodock.
Couldn't have happened soon enough.
Yep, I'm sick and stuck here in Minnesota with the best of all comic books, the
Archie Sonic ones? Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
Got a juice!
Got a juice.
Bringing it all back to the O.J. Simpson conversation from earlier.
Ooh, yeah. I really hope they arrest Sonic in a slow van chase.
Oh. God,
it could happen.
Live-action Sonic movie.
I don't think we talked about it, but...
I mean, those posters are out there.
Yeah.
How do you feel
I'm not sure if
about
it's accurate, but I've seen pictures of a guy in a green costume driving a van that are theoretically for the Sonic movie. I'm not sure who the guy's supposed to be, but
I think that was that came out as not exactly the truest, because I think that's just a weird Photoshop of Chris Pratt with Sonic the Hedgehog behind him.
know what's real and what's an illusion in today's world. Today's world of Sonic the Hedgehog, live action CG.
It's still kind of hard to believe that's even happening.
He's all the best villains. The Riddler, Eggman.
He was in Kick-Ass 2.
Oh, right. I would say I never saw that, but I also never saw the first one, so...
I've also never seen any of them. But I know that the writer of the comic books licks goats, so...
Yeah.
I think the only Jim Carrey film I've seen in theaters was Ace Ventura 2, and that probably wasn't the best way to go in that regard.
I don't know if I've ever seen a Jim Carrey movie in theaters.
That's what I was gonna say. I don't think I've ever seen one in a theater experience, but also I've never seen many, like... I don't watch a lot of movies in theaters, period.
I feel like, the closest that I think I've ever gotten to that was, I forget what studio it was, but they talked to my dad when Jim Carrey was in The Majestic. Because my dad was heavily involved with the preservation of a local old movie theater, and they wanted something about it for either the DVD special features or their website. I can't remember which now. And that's my fun Jim Carrey story. that is maybe the least related to Jim Carrey ever. Oops. This is gone for.
I would be surprised if Jim Carrey has the actual, like, mask from The Mask.
I mean, that seems like a kind of...
I think Jamie Kennedy has the mask from Son of the Mask.
Leonardo DiCaprio when he's at home, he just puts on an iron mask.
I would do that if I was in my mask. I like that. Fuck it.
I didn't say anything about the movie.
I'm not sure I've ever actively seen that.
Certainly not Titanic.
I wonder if he keeps that broken, like, wine glass that he broke his hand real good.
He fucked his hand up on in Django.
Yeah.
You think he keeps the skull?
Who's got the... This is unrelated, but who's got the crystal skull? Is it the aliens?
Oh, that's a great question.
Is it Ford?
Shia LaBeouf.
Probably Shia LaBeouf.
He said, "Will you tell us?"
Karen Allen.
Actually, 50 Cent probably doesn't know one way or another, because I think he's probably forgotten about video games.
That's what we think.
Man, did you see the article that came out at some point about Blood in the Sand and how, like, 50 Cent's nephew or son or something played it and was like, "Why don't you fight a helicopter, Uncle 50 Cent?"
Yep, I remember
And
that.
so they had to put the helicopter boss fights in 50 Cent Blood in the Sand.
That's amazing.
$50 cents is good, clean fun.
Oh, yeah.
Unlike that Soldier Boy stuff.
Oh. That's so weird. That whole saga is so weird. For something I didn't know about until a couple of weeks ago. Like, when it was added to the list on our Game of the Year thing, I didn't know what it was. I hadn't heard of that yet. And then over the course of the next couple of weeks, it just got substantially crazier.
Because when I added it to the list, it was still in the, oh, look at that crazy Soldier Boy, he's trying to sell these, you know, these Chinese emulator consoles, and then, yeah, and after that, there was a
profanity-laden Twitter rant.
And there may or may not have been legal actions from Nintendo, yeah.
I was reading something that, like, the soldiergame.com redirects to Nintendo now, which seems like...
It was like the 3DS website or something, yeah. I haven't tested that myself. It's made all in the current age of Nintendo renewing its fight against anything ROM related that they shut him down real good.
I don't know how you ever think you're gonna get away with something like that. That's just a crippling lack of understanding of how business works.
If there's one person I trust for business acumen, it's Soldier Boy. You are free now, children.
Trust me.
Free from the shackles of the child labor.
Now they're jobless. Now what are they supposed to do?
Use the means of production.
Exactly.
Oh, so they're going to take over the factory and work it, but this time they're in charge?
Yes.
Still child labor, but this time they choose it.
Yes.
Makes all the difference.
Very important distinction. This factory has a lot of dudes in it.
I mean, to be fair, you've liberated literally every other factory in the city of London, so these guards have got to work somewhere.
Look at those guys look all crazy and then fight each other. Yeah. No assassin Heros for
One of those guys was clearly a much better fighter than the other.
very much so. Now he's dead.
Just wanted it more. Whatever these hallucinogenic drugs were making him see.
This guy just looks sad. He died in a very awkward pose.
That guy just gave up. Poor man.
Okay.
Oh dear. Oh my.
Whew.
Come on, Lou. What you did?
Is this man dead? Was he ever really alive to begin with?
I've had days like that. I'm sure I've made that exact facial expression on multiple occasions, just staring off into the distance.
There's a trespasser there!
You're free now.
It's alright.
You're not free now.
Send me along! Trespasser!
You're free now.
Don't fret, children.
I don't trust grown-ups, but I like your style, lady.
What are the numbers on the guys' heads?
That's their level. So like,
It's all right.
Oh, you're the most
there's
wonderful.
2 level 9 dudes and a level 10 dude down there.
And the children are just free. Got it.
But, well, the free just means that that's what I need to do to them. I must free them. That does not mean that the children are free, Grav.
I mean, they're probably also free. I bet you could whip their asses if you wanted to.
I'll be right back.
Thank you.
You think they're free, but then they start pulling these sick infinites on you.
These children have mastered the SMT loop in their time
Yeah.
in the child factories.
Some real weird shenanigans that can happen if one of the kids grabs you.
These kids have got some really sick option selects. Ow! This is my factory, why are you punching me?
It's my factory and I want it now.
Don't go easy on her!
Look with your special eyes.
I hope your fingers fall off.
back on the subject of video game movies. This is a long time ago and it never happened, but man, I wonder what that John Woo Metroid film was going to be like.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Yeah. That would
In a
have been
way, I
cool.
almost wish that had been made, just to see. What the hell does that even become?
Do they have alien doves?
Yeah. They gotta give Samus dual arm cannons. Come they never did that for Mega Man. I mean, if
You
his
can.
hands interchangeable between hand and gun, why didn't they just make both of his hands gun hands?
There's,
Too much power.
Yeah, there's something about too much power, but then you can do it in the final Smash in the Super Smash Brothers.
Peace.
Well, I know
Everyone is here.
of several of his moves in Super Smash Brothers, like the
flame
killer thing.
Yeah.
Both hands become guns.
Striking goal.
Whatever, you don't even need that shit, because just use Metal Blade.
Fair enough.
Never stop using Metal Blade.
Except it kind of sucks in Smash.
Shh, no, it's fine.
Definitely not
To be honest,
canon.
I don't actually like playing as Mega Man that much in Smash Brothers, and it is one of the things that bums me out the most.
I also kind of don't like playing as Mega Man, and that also
I love
bums
Mega
me out.
Man, and I love that he's in, but I kind of just don't like his moveset.
It's kind of not great.
I like parts of his moveset, but
You like Hard Knuckle?
it's okay. I've never been a fan of any of the spiking moves in Smash Brothers because I'm bad at it.
I hear
I like to play defensively and turtle up, and if I'm ever off the stage for any amount of time, I am panicking. Like, voluntarily leaving the stage to land a hit on somebody is the craziest thing to me.
I hear ya. I know movement in Smash isn't... It's not bad, but like, when I get off the stage, I don't feel like I'm nearly as in control as I want to be. It just feels like I'm always this close to killing myself.
If I'm ever off the stage, I am trying to get back to the stage. There is never a, oh, I'll do this first kind of thing. I'm not trying to jump out there and do any sick air hits on anybody.
You're not trying to.
I mean, I guess I
do
never
those
really-
sick juggles.
To learn like competitive level Smash, so it's not like I put the time in. But,
Oh yeah, I've never wanted to do anything less than seriously play Smash Brothers.
This is true.
That said, I also feel like we should seriously consider just having the Game of the Year discussions this year in the midst of a series of Smash Brother matches.
Alright, you can make Uniel #1 on this, but we gotta fight first.
First to 3 for best style.
I mean, it's Gris, obviously, so...
Or is it best looking?
It's actually a hard distinction. Why not both?
She's not allowed in it!
I have another engagement.
That Booth can take both of those categories.
Oh god, that came out this year, didn't it?
Sure did. That dude's just walking in a circle.
Well, this last year.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's not this year anymore. The year's not really over till Game of the Year happens.
Fair enough.
It's December 33rd.
That's my annual celebration. So I'm gonna set off fireworks directly on my microphone when we're done.
Oh, Jesus.
Same thing that's happened in Texas.
Man, somebody apparently got killed literally 2 hours after New Year's up here.
Was it fireworks related?
No, there was apparently a shooting at a bar.
Oh, good. Because...
That's how you ring in the New Year.
Yeah.
Is murder someone 2 hours into it. Somebody had to be first.
Increase the rate at which my health regenerates, or make carriages I drive accelerate faster. I was complaining about the carriages not being very fast, so we're just going to get the thing that makes the carriages go faster.
Another one for the gravedigger?
Dead as a doorknob.
This whole city's gone mad as that is. Bloody ridiculous.
I feel like I'm kind of surprised that the gang leader hasn't shown up to be like, hey, I'm here! Yet.
Yeah, usually they do that fairly early. Well, not like early in the games, but within 1 or 2 objectives of finishing the area off.
Normally I thought they were tied to like the...
Or were they tied to specific events in the areas?
I thought they were, but I could also be wrong about that. Because I thought most of the time they show up after you do the gang strongholds. But I did both gang strongholds and there's nobody...
Yeah, and I'm ready for a sick Quiet Man style boss fight where they just kind of shuffle at you.
Where you super kick someone so hard they turn into someone else.
Yeah.
Man. I wish that game was good. FMV things should be good, you know?
Was Minecraft the re-release? Was that last year? Or, I mean, 2018?
Maybe. It may have been 2018 on Switch.
Yeah, that would make sense.
So I think it may have been 2017 otherwise. I know they did a quick look of it. And by they, I mean Giant Bomb, but...
I want to murder them. Murder them all.
This dude's name is Wallace Bone.
Nice.
He is now dead. Now I leave.
I forget, was JFK a Templar or an assassin?
JFK was an assassin.
Okay, so they couldn't make an Assassin's Creed where you kill JFK.
No. Unless they did another Rogue where you play as Lee Harvey Oswald.
That would be interesting.
Because Lee Harvey Oswald was a Templar. It was confirmed. Or, wait. I always mix this up. Lee Harvey Oswald killed JFK, right?
Certainly was not John Wilkes Booth, I can tell you
Yeah,
that much.
okay. That was where the question...
Unless there was time travel involved. Turns out that everyone who assassinated a president is the same guy.
All the presidents were assassinated by the Sage.
No.
It's just reincarnated the same guy.
I played some Never Stop Speaking again recently. Kidnapped all the presidents, even the bad ones.
Especially the bad ones.
But she couldn't escape the ringer, and she rolled out the other side as flat as needed done.
Oops.
Why is she hiding?
There's a lot of child labor going on.
Yeah, I was gonna say they built a lot of child factories around Buckingham Palace over here.
I think a child factory is a very different thing.
You referred to it as a child factory earlier, motherfucker.
Did
your
I?
Terminology. Yes. I was going to make a comment about how I thought child factories were a different thing, and then I decided not to.
I don't remember this.
Because I seriously stopped there and considered whether to call it a child factory or a child labor factory. And then I decided that since you'd already used the term child factory, I would just go with that.
We got the whole supply chain in one place now.
Yeah.
As long as it's not a child labor child factory. Like, that's where I draw the line.
Sneaking up on those kids. Psst, hey kids.
Hey kids, you're free now.
You see that sick knife I threw?
Whoop.
These kids really don't seem distracted by all the murder you're doing.
Well, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
This game has become a little frozen.
Oh, fun.
Oh dear.
See if I can hit the home button.
Oh.
Oh, yeah, okay. I can do that.
Mm-hmm.
This is a very good video game that has no glitches in it.
Yep. Working perfectly.
Vesta wishes they could aspire to this level.
Just went a little bit Unity there.
It just works. Also, apparently, my controller is down low battery, so we're gonna plug it in. Also, oh no, you can see all the video games that I've been playing on my PS4 lately.
Oh no.
Oh, it's the Windjammer Steam. For a second, I thought it was the Tropical Dancing Skeletons.
Oh no.
That's a pretty good one too.
Yeah, it's just the Windjammers one because I like Pixel Ocean.
Nothing wrong with Windjammer's art.
Also,
I
like
just stick to default themes because once you start digging into the menus, it forces you back to default anyway.
Yeah, but at least on like PS4, it'll like tweak the colors so that like when you go into the menus, like it's still the same blue as like the ocean. Let's try that again.
Yay. Sequence 666. The Hulk. Oh yeah, that reminds me. So P3 Dancing didn't have the Ready for Stabs version of Mass Destruction, did it?
No. Well, yes. I think.
Oh, it did?
I think one of the remixes has that line in it. Not the bad remix, but the other remix.
Okay. Not bad then.
That's a pretty good quote.
Things I find on Twitter as I'm waiting for the game to load back up. Let's try that again.
My palace.
I need more time.
Unfortunately, I probably have to rescue those kids that I previously rescued again.
Do not kill Majima.
Locked herself in the laundry room for an entire day before we found her.
Unless you're going to replace Scott Stricher with Scott Steiner.
God.
You see, Kiryu, when you go one-on-one with another man, you normally have 50-50 chance of winning. But I'm a genetic freak and I got a baseball bat and I'm not normal!
Yeah.
Shh. It's all right.
Are you working?
You add Daisaku Kuze to the mix, your odds drastic go down.
You'll be all right. Trust me.
I don't trust grown-ups, but I like your style.
Apparently Big E did that promo on the Bad Wrestling recently, and it was good.
I heard about that.
I like the Big E. He makes the Bad Wrestling good.
Yeah. He's one of the best parts of Bad Wrestling. One could say that he deserves to be in better wrestling.
One could say that.
So, what would you put him in? Lucha Underground or
Yes!
Japan, or?
Put,
I mean, anywhere, really.
but put the New Day in the Lucha.
Yeah, they don't.
Don't worry. We won't be doing this much longer.
You got me!
That'd be really cool.
Intruder! She's over there!
Show me what.
There's this new All Elite thing.
Yeah. They are friends with the Kenny Omegas. And the Young Bucks.
They've done work with the Bucks before.
It was a fun New Year's video.
She's not allowed.
You guys see that Undertale thing?
I heard about it, but I didn't watch it.
Oh wait, the Kenny Omega thing.
Yeah.
Undertale like. I think I liked like the prelude part more, where they just had Kenny Omega work in the game store. Like the idea that wrestlers just have random day jobs on the side. Go to like the McDonald's drive-thru and the Undertaker's at the window.
Here's your meal. Oh, there's
I think I prefer him as a hotel concierge.
What's up, lady?
Tear those bloody fry twins apart and bring
Please do
me
not
the
tear those
pieces.
bloody Fry twins apart. I like being in one piece.
How about you?
Ma'am. Ma'am, you have a lot of hit points. My friend, who's probably gonna hit you. I hit that. Oh no! I hit that man so hard he disappeared. Goodness. Grab, I'm gonna need you to explain no Colossus past this point. Please consider Nightcrawler instead.
It's a noise thing, but they may or may not have had an X-Men cabin. I'm not sure.
I'll deal with you first.
Anyway, if you notice, here's Buckingham Palace, and if you notice, also, big restricted area.
People don't like you hanging out there.
You don't.
Not allowed.
Not allowed in Buckingham Palace. Unfortunately, there's a viewpoint on Buckingham Palace, so we're gonna have to pop in temporarily. Well, especially because without this viewpoint, I can't see where the final two,
like, take over things are?
Yeah. Hold on, I have to blast a beefeater.
What's that euphemism for?
It's me trying not to make the reference to Russian and Diamonds quite as direct, and instead replacing the word Bobby with beefeater.
Is beefeater a term for some sort of British Guard?
Yeah, it's the dudes with the big hats.
Oh. Never knew that about them.
Yeah.
Why are they called beefeaters?
I don't know.
Let's see, now I've got to go look this up. Hope there's not some horrible meaning behind this.
Finally, the CEO of a brokerage house explained that he had nearly completed building his own underground bunker system and asked, "How do I maintain authority over my security force after the event?"
Yes. Yeah, I'm glad you also found that. Because I read that article months ago.
I didn't realize
about the dude getting asked by a bunch of rich assholes, like, how do we keep our security force in line after the apocalypse?
Nice. Yeah, I'm just seeing this on Twitter now. This is pretty
Yes,
good.
somebody brought up the idea of fucking exploding collars. Like, what if we just had some kind of obedience collar?
Why don't we just do Battle Royale?
Only if Beat Takashi hosts.
Thank for Twitter.
Hold on, I'm gonna rob Buckingham Palace here real quick.
How would they pay the guards once money is worthless? Indeed.
I mean, these are the questions you have to ask after the apocalypse.
I mean, the answer is clearly to become an assassin trained in the finest martial arts before the apocalypse.
Yes. I'm glad that all the locked valuables in Buckingham Palace are just in these, like, 4 rooms.
Stop her! This'll end.
I got the Eagle Splendor belt.
Alright, I'll be back in a few minutes.
Bye-bye.
I'll go do this Templar hunt over in the Buckingham Palace as I run away. Well, I'm not in the restricted area. Shh, no.
I'll cover you.
Ivan Bunbury.
We need to find the perfect spot to build our stronghold. Scare off anyone who tries to rescue you or force you from the property. If you need help, call for me. It's up to us to establish a plan. I told you no one could stop me.
Oh, this is not going well.
She's an intruder! I told you no one could stop me.
Come on!
Sure, I'm glad I got more acceleration in the buggy skill. Yes, sir.
Ride.
Blighters! Show this one! Blighter! What? Bugger off! I'll kill you, I will. Do not get in my way.
No.
Quiet down. I said quiet, Mr. Bunbury.
Mr. Bunbury, if that is your real name.
You can't stop me. No one can.
Thanks.
I'm here on a mission to build the Blighter stronghold
Against
under the
these
orders of
buggy
the Blighter
chases
herself.
is a distinct
And so
lack of
help me,
sick
I will
flips.
finish what I've started.
Unfortunately.
And what is your purpose in all this?
To be fair,
Not
in
that
one
it's
of
any
these
of your
streams,
business, but if we build
there
a
was
Blighter
a sick
stronghold,
flip,
we
but it
can
was
take
not the
Buckingham
buggy
for
doing a sick
ourselves.
flip.
Then
It
the
was the
Blighters.
driver doing a sick flip.
I have a feeling the police won't be nearly so impressed.
That's something.
Get me out of here! Help me! I'm being kidnapped!
Oh, you knocked the tree into me. That was very rude.
Faster! Watch it!
Driving real crazy.
I mean,
Out of my way! Get off the road!
Man, I wish they found a way to like work licensed vehicles into this game.
licensed carriages.
Yeah, exactly. We can figure out who's making the buggies.
Come on!
Modern car companies design their own buggies and then put them in the game.
That would
Like the exclusive Porsche buggy DLC.
this time EA still had the license. You can't do Porsches in the Ubisoft.
Oh, right.
Faster!
Assassin's Creed, Porsche Unleashed.
That was a close one. You've done well. Thank you.
Alright. We're almost up to 2 hours. May as well do this last, takeover event and take over this last district, and then call that a stream.
Sounds good.
can also get this chest. Maybe. I thought it was going to be right here, but it was not. One last Templar to murder, and I will have taken over all of London, except for all the Templars that are running London's industries. So, you know.
Speed tree on full display.
Oh yeah. So this area looks like a Hitman, a section of the recent Hitman game. And now we run away.
Really trippy when you entered the water there.
That was Eagle Vision.
So it's not because you're a witch.
No. Why am I behind? What? How do you see me? I'm behind a fence. Time to go do a gang war.
The very best of London.
One might say that the gang war starts now.
now.
I think I gotta check out a few minutes early here.
Makes
Be back
sense.
in the chat.
Later. At some point, maybe Making That will return. Hooray. For me.
And I'm back.
You arrived right as Grav left.
Oh. Convenient.
Yep.
Apparently beef eater is a thing because their rations
what you're doing.
house literally just
Been challenged to a gang
Oh.
So like, oh, those guys eat beef like every day for lunch, so beef eater. Apparently beef eater was at one point also just a slang term for the English in general.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm. But the name, for the record, is of uncertain origins.
I orcs were strong, but I didn't think you stood a
Stand a
chance
chance
against
against the Bludger.
There isn't much standing in your way now.
Apparently that lady was named the Bludger.
Huh. It's a bad name. This makes me think of Harry Potter. Damn it.
This borough is ours for the taking.
To be fair, I think Bludger existed as a term before.
Westminster is
Well,
ours
yeah.
for the taking.
You know, it's Harry Potter.
Hooray!
Gentlemen,
All of
we
you work for
are
us
Evie
now.
and Jacob Fry. And as of this moment, you all work for us.
That sounds reasonable. That lady is in that man. That looked weird. And hey, now I've taken over all of London.
Good work. What are you gonna do now?
Do the side missions and then do the rest of the story. And then do the
Oh, right,
DLC that I have. I've got some Charles Darwin memories to do. And then I believe this is that's Frederick Aberline is like, hey, thanks for maxing out your thing enthusiasm with me. Then we have the Dreadful Crimes, and then we have... Actually, well, we'll probably do the Darwin and Dickens conspiracy before we do the Dreadful Crimes, because the Dreadful Crimes is great!
Mm-hmm. Want to end on a high note?
Also, I mean, it's called the Dreadful Crimes, so...
It's pretty good.
But anyway, that'll probably do it for today.
It has been...
About 2 hours.
Yeah, just over.
Join us next time when we play more of this.
Mm-hmm. Back after the break, haven't missed a beat.
Yep. Later, everybody.